What's up, everybody? This is Alex Winking Michael. Hope everybody's having a great weekend so far. Just wanted to kind of come in and make a few videos this weekend. I apologize for kind of small uploads this week so far. I've been a little busier than I thought. It's been kind of jammed up. Still tweaking the setup a little bit as well. But hopefully soon I'll have like a setup reveal video, kind of show you what I'm working with. Let you guys check out kind of my media room and you guys tell me what you think. But I got to put up a few more things. I'll hopefully finish that this weekend. I should be back to a regular upload schedule. I would say 3 to 5 videos a week, hopefully on the higher side of things. But today, I wanted to talk a little bit about Borderlands 3 and the week that it's had with Game Informer, Andy McNamara, Randy Pitchford, David Eddings. What a week for a game. The gameplay reveal was on Monday. I mean, this game has had a weird week, crazy week, and it's all at the behest of their, I don't even know how to describe him, their CEO, Randy Pitchford, who to me is a Looney Tune. But let's just get into some of the stuff here. We had the gameplay reveal, of course, and we're going to do a couple things. I'm going to show you some tweets. We're just going to kind of go through Randy Pitchford's Twitter account a little bit and just kind of see what kind of interactions he's having for him being such a cool, lovable, likable guy, right? And then we'll kind of check out David Eddings. I have a PC Gamer article that does a good job of kind of talking about that. David Eddings is the voice actor, or former voice actor, I should say, of Claptrap, and he is not going to be voicing him anymore because of money, of course. But we'll kind of go through some of this nonsense that has been the Borderlands 3 week. And we'll start with the gameplay reveal. Now, and I'm not going to show you guys anything. You probably have already seen tons of this already. They did a badass job on the production of the event. I mean, hats off to them. I mean, boy, it's not about the music. It's all about the production. And they took that to the umpteenth level. I mean, they had cosplayers. They had a ton of art. Really cool setting. I mean, it was really well done. They flew out all the top content creators, a bunch of top streamers to try the game. My only issue with this is, I mean, it's just all the smoke and mirrors for this. I mean, it's hard to take the opinion of some of these content creators seriously because all of them came back and were like, oh my gosh, this is so great. And I may have missed one or two that was critical of it, but I think the overwhelming majority of them were like, this is the greatest game. And it's like, okay, all of us could fall victim to this. If I'm flown out to an event and treated like royalty, I'm probably going to get swept up in the moment as well and think this is awesome, especially when I'm surrounded by all the nonsense and the scenery and I can see how you would fall into that trap. And it's interesting because from what I saw of the gameplay, I wasn't very excited. I felt like this was probably, it just seems like a reskin of Borderlands 2 to me. And maybe that's not bad for most fans because people really liked Borderlands 2. So, again, kudos to y'all. No attack or no offense to anybody that likes that game. It's just not for me. I was expecting a little bit more, something just a little bit more to it. Add to it, expand on it, revolutionize it a little bit. I understand that can be a dangerous path, because if you get a little bit too off course of something successful, people get upset. Let's take the Sonic thing, for example. That's a great example of trying to evolve a series, and boy, they missed the mark hugely on the Sonic movie. But I was expecting a little bit more from it. I was pretty disappointed in the reveal. Let's get into Randy Pitchford's Twitter, because it is awesome. So, Mr. Pitchford here has a major issue with responding to everything, and I'm not going to dig down here. You guys would have to dig down here. I'll put a link to it in the description below. You would have to jump down here pretty far to get into the Andy McNamara and Game Informer debacle about the microtransactions. So the first kind of thing that broke that was sort of an issue for Mr. Pitchford, as he called, so lovingly refers to David Eddings, his co-worker for years, a co-executive for years. He just calls him Mr. Eddings now. We'll get into that in a minute. So Mr. Pitchford here got pretty triggered over a Game Informer article that was calling him out about microtransactions because one of the major selling points, or I should say they used it as a selling point to say Borderlands 3 won't have microtransactions. But in the same sentence, they said, well, we're going to still charge you for some of the cosmetic items, which by very definition is a microtransaction. There's not really any way of arguing about it. Now, he felt like Game Informer was attacking him and calling him a liar, when in fact the article was just trying to clear up some confusion about the fact that, hey, it does have microtransactions, dude. Like, you misspoke on this. And he got super triggered, went on like an 18 tweet rant about it. And yeah, it was quite comical to see this guy come apart about it and to get so defensive about being called, not even being called a liar. It just makes you feel like he's not genuine. And I don't think he is, to be honest. I don't think this guy's genuine at all. He's a terrible executive in terms of communicating with the public. I mean, if I were them, I'd say, listen, dude, you're going to have to shut your Twitter account down. We got to get you out of the spotlight because you are a complete doofus. But I don't know. Maybe he's good at leading teams. Maybe he's good at building camaraderie. When they brought the Gearbox teams up, everybody seemed pretty happy. But let's get into just a couple of these. Let's pick a couple of them kind of at random here. And I was going to say, there was one down here that I just kind of was looking at. Here's a weird one. So this guy says, hey, Randy Bobandy, 2 questions. Fall damage in Borderlands 3, and you say no MTX, but there are purchasable skins. What's up with that? MTX being microtransactions. Here's Randy Pitchford. Did you watch the presentation? I said there will be DLC, and we can be expected to do cosmetics. Immediately after, I confirmed that. I also confirmed that we would not be pursuing any FTP-style monetization / microtransactions. You didn't answer the question about the fall damage, which you could have done. But you chose not to. That's fine. Okay. Of course I watched, brother. Just a bit confused by some conflicting chatter on the internet. Thanks for clearing that up, though. Any word on the fall damage? Looked like it might have happened during a, Gathalion stream. So cool. So obviously just a general user is confused by your verbiage of the microtransaction disaster. So you have an issue here, Randy. You got a real issue, bud. Because your general consumers are confused by it. So yeah, you probably need to address it. Maybe not in such a hostile manner. Maybe you could kind of be cool and interact with your fans and customers in a little bit better way. Ironically, it's Game Informer's commitment to being incorruptible that is currently making it difficult for @GI Andy MC, which is Andy McNamara, the editor-in-chief of Game Informer, and company to mitigate damage caused to me by their choice of words. What? What damage? How is any of this? Okay, those folks are solid and not caving to pressure is a value for them. A sacrosanct value for them. Okay. Wow, I can't, and this got a whole 2 likes. But it is a retweet. It is a reply. So, again, not everybody's going to read it. So I can't give him too much heat on the likes. But he's not getting a lot of love here. 9 likes, 3 likes, 18 likes, which this is sad right here. This is really sad. So this little number, this little gem right here that he's done, I'm hyped for a proven series with a great farming loop and excellent paid DLC, F off troll. This is a guy, Unagi Thunder. So you're hyped for another looter shooter with no in-game content and microtransactions. Fair point. But I like how this guy said F off troll because this is Gothalion who was flown to the event and was there, so he's all triggered by it. It looks like you have quite a bit of followers, though. Yeah, 309K, so he's pretty big. This guy's pretty big. Unagi Thunder says, too bad you can't handle facts. Go ask your homie at DeWall Magic if there are microtransactions. And this is how Pitchford responds to the guy. He just posts his Twitter followers. Wow, man, what a power move, dude. You are an absolute inspiration. Way to flex your muscle, Pitchford. You got a whole 18 likes from your 600,000 followers. Wow, you're an awesome guy. Yeah, that's a bitch move. I mean, that's silly. Okay, so let's just keep kind of going through here. Oh boy, here he is again. He has to respond. At least he's interacting with his community. I'll give him some credit for that. At least he's interacting. There is some credit to be had for that. A little bit of respect for that, Randy. You are interacting with the community, even though you suck at it. You're doing it. And this is where he gets called out. You're not making yourself look honest. This is by Fabricator Azul Zero. By going on an 18-part rant, old school gamers get to hold you to the fire for misspeaking. Cause microtransactions are normalized enough for you to not consider them significant. You are dishonest and ill-tempered, a corporate sellout. I don't necessarily agree with the sellout part. I do believe he's dishonest, and he's definitely ill-tempered, though. But I think that he got a little bit too triggered because I don't think Game Informer made him seem like a liar. And he's still sticking to that fact that he thinks Game Informer made him seem like a liar, which they didn't do. And he goes in, I'm sorry you feel that way. I think there's a profound difference between an option to buy a durable cosmetic thing or an add-on versus buying premium currency to spend on rolling the dice for a chance at random things you may or may not care about. Zero intent to mislead here. There's more. This is why he was being such a loon. He could have said I misspoke. Instead, he goes on an uncontrolled, punitive rant when a journalist does his damn job. Worse, people defend this behavior by saying, behave when they don't. Nah, that ship sailed. Call it as you see it. I agree with you there. My reaction was about the language that caused readers to believe Game Informer was saying I willfully misled or worse, lied. I respect and value Game Informer's role in, informing. I do not respect being made out as having lied. Okay, bud. Why don't you stick to Magic Man? Because you are terrible at interacting with your community. And there's so many more just nonsense here. Let's go to his tweets. I mean, is he getting any love here? He's getting some likes here. So it's not too bad. He's got some likes. This was a great tweet right here where they brought everybody up on Borderlands 3 on the stage to say, hey, here's all the people working on it. I thought that was a really good move. And, he also said, because everybody's like, oh, yeah, what are they getting paid? He said, well, we actually have a profit-sharing program that's like the best in the industry. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, that's kudos to Gearbox. So let's go to Mr. Eddings here. Dave Eddings, real quick, was the voice actor for Claptrap, and now he is no longer the voice actor for Claptrap in Borderlands 3 because apparently of a pay dispute. And we'll get into the article on PC Gamer, which kind of clarifies this a little bit. But he's asked a question by a person that says, are you still Claptrap in Borderlands 3? He says, no. For the first time, I insisted on getting paid for my performance, and all of a sudden they couldn't afford me. Now I'm not telling them how to run their business, but maybe next time they should put the $12 million payment from 2K in the Gearbox bank account instead. Just saying. What he's referring to is there's an allegation, I believe from a while back, that basically 2K paid a $12 million bonus to Gearbox, and the CEO of Gearbox took the entire payment instead as a bonus. That's what he's referring to. I don't know if that's ever been proven true, but that's kind of what he's going into. So let's look at some clarification provided by PC Gamer. This is a really good article. And it is funny, PC Gamer. I don't understand, because you took shots at Jedi Fallen Order about them selling we're not going to have microtransactions. Y'all took issue with that. But yeah, I haven't seen any of you taking issue with the fact that Randy Pitchford said there's no microtransactions, and now there actually is microtransactions. And they did the exact same thing that EA did by using the no microtransactions as a selling point, even though I don't want to say they misled, they just were not correct in their terminology when they said there was no microtransactions, because the very definition of that is what they're doing with these cosmetic items. But anyway, I guess I won't hold that too far against you, because you did put out a pretty decent thing here. So this article, when Borderlands 3 arrives in September, there will be a different voice behind the iconic character. The monocular mono-wheel machine known as Claptrap. David Eddings, who voiced the robot in all previous games, including Telltale's Borderlands games, has been replaced by actor Jim Ferranda over what appears to be a pay dispute. Now, Jim Ferranda is a very prominent voice actor, for those of you who do not know. The implication that Eddings did not get paid for his previous work might seem odd, but there's a reason for it. At the time of his performances, he was an executive at Gearbox, specifically the vice president of licensing and business development, and took on the role without additional pay, but he left the company in March 2017 to become the head of game publishing at Rooster Teeth, which is why he wanted to be paid to return to his role in Borderlands 3. Absolutely understandable. Absolutely understandable. For him to reprise his role, he would be compensated. Gearbox confirmed the situation in a statement sent to IGN. Gearbox works to treat and compensate all voice actors at industry standards. Boy, you couldn't go a little bit above and beyond, but that's fine. We offer the opportunity for salaried employees to voice characters in the game, but it's not a mandatory responsibility for their job requirements, a rep said. Of course you offer it to them, a salaried employee, because you don't have to pay them anything. Wow, what a cool concept. That's great. You're really pulling the wool over everybody's eyes. In this particular case now, that he is no longer an employee, we offered him an industry standard rate, but we're not able to reach an agreement. We are confident and happy with Jim Ferranda as the voice of Claptrap, and we are confident as fans too. I have no idea how voice actor pay scale works, but I have a hard time imagining that Ferranda would come any cheaper than Eddings. Yes, because Jim Ferranda is a huge voice actor. I don't believe that at all either. Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford said on his Twitter account that Mr. Eddings was offered, a fair wage, and they could never come to a thing. It's interesting that he calls him Mr. Eddings because that was his bro for a while. Ferrando's a well-established voice actor. Yes, Dragon Ball Z, Full Metal Alchemist, Tokyo Ghoul, Star Wars Go Rogue, many, many others. We don't have the same voice actor for Claptrap. Looks kind of a little bit suspicious, a little bit shady, but we'll let that one go. I'll let that ship sail because I guess they couldn't come to an agreement. But this has been definitely a weird week for Borderlands 3. I'm not a fan of Randy Pitchford. I don't think that he's a very genuine guy. I don't think he's a very honest guy. But if he's good at building teams and good at developing games, he doesn't necessarily have to be those things. But he definitely should stay off of Twitter and social media so that he stops getting blistered for a lot of this nonsense and stuff that he does. Anyway, I will be interested to know what you guys think of Borderlands 3. I'm not so disappointed in it just being an Epic Store exclusive now. I think I am going to wait. I mean, it's a 6 months exclusivity. I think I would wait for Steam in this instance, especially if I don't see any differences in gameplay from what I've seen so far. And this may just be one I pass on. And I know I'm in the minority on that. I know a lot of people are excited about it, and that's awesome. I mean, I'm glad that there's a game coming out that people are excited for. It's kind of definitely a little bit of a dry year. But let me know in the comments below. Genuinely interested to know if you're going to pick up Borderlands 3 and what you think about Randy Pitchford. If you do think he's a little misunderstood by myself and some others, or if he actually is just the troll that he appears to be. But I just want to say thank you all so much for the support. I'm going to be doing some more uploads this weekend, so kind of bear with me. We'll see kind of what else I can drum up. I'm also going to finish building my setup and get back to normal. But thank you all so much for the subscriptions. Really appreciate the likes and the comments and the subscribers, man. I just love to see this thing keep growing. And if there's anything you want to see me cover, please let me know. But that's all for this one, and I will see you all on the next one.